Hey, what's going on? My name is Joe Polyak, local San Francisco Bay Area real estate agent with Rise Homes. And I make videos like this for people like you who might be thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Or if you're just looking for some information about the local San Francisco Bay Area real estate market. This particular video is about SB 9, which is a new law that has been recently signed into law by Governor Newsom, I believe in mid-September or so, and it is going into effect on January 1st, 2022. The new SB 9 law in California could really shake things up when it comes to zoning for single-family homes. Some even say that SB 9 completely gets rid of single-family home zoning by essentially allowing fourplexes on most single-family zoned lots in the state. So let's cut through some of the confusion and misinformation surrounding SB 9 and get to the real facts. While some homeowners are worried about how the new law could affect their neighborhood, SB 9 may actually be a really great financial decision for savvy property owners. So first, let's start with what SB 9 is going to do. Then we'll run down the list of some of those restrictions because there are quite a few. So SB 9 basically has just two provisions. And the first, it allows single-family lots to be subdivided into two parcels of land. And the second part of it allows two houses to be built on each of those parcels of land. So this is where it gets interesting because what it means is that you can go from 1 to 4 homes. You start with the one home on the one parcel of land and then turn it into 2 parcels of land. And under the law, you're able to now have a total of 4 homes across the original property. So on the surface, it sounds like a pretty big change for zoning laws in California. But here's the catch though. There are a lot of restrictions that are going to keep SB 9 from happening in a lot of areas across the whole state. So one of the biggest restrictions is that SB 9 really only applies to U.S. Census designated urban areas. So it's only for California cities and some of the closer in suburbs. So that gets rid of a lot of locations. It does work for coastal zones, so keep that in mind for some beach areas. And next, SB 9 actually won't work in historic districts or for historic landmarks, so they're off the list. It also doesn't work for fire hazard zones, and we all know that means a lot of locations in California. So those are just some of the biggest location restrictions, but there are more restrictions. So with SB 9, the subdivided parcel of land has to be a minimum of 1,200 square feet, and that's for each of the new smaller lots. There are some other more specific restrictions too. So for example, if you're redeveloping the site, you can only demolish one wall of an existing single-family home on the property. In addition to that, each one of the new lots, basically minimum has to be 40% of the size of the original lot. So what that means is that you can't have like a 10,000 square foot lot and then use one as 2,000 square feet and keep the other one as 8,000 square feet. One of them has to be 4,000 and the other one has to be 6,000 square feet. Also, if the property is not close enough to public transit, local regulations might require you to put in 1 parking space per unit. There are also some restrictions concerning rent-controlled housing and low-income housing. So if the property is tenant-occupied, you cannot do SB 9. And there don't even have to be current tenants. You may not even be able to utilize it in the situation if a tenant's lived there anytime over the past 3 years. You also can't use SB 9 for anything but residential. And it absolutely cannot be used for creating short-term rentals either. So you may be asking, if my neighborhood isn't restricted by any of the things we already talked about, what's going to prevent developers from just coming in and subdividing my entire neighborhood? Here's the major catch with SB 9. The property owner has to live there too. So under the new law, the property owner has to occupy one of the housing units as their principal residence for at least 3 years. So because of this, developers aren't going to be able to take advantage of SB 9 on a large scale. And on the flip side, the new law gives you the opportunity to potentially turn a single family property into, say, a duplex or even a fourplex. And that's a potential moneymaker for you in the future. And I should probably mention the unknown is we really don't know what cities, counties, municipalities are going to do next as SB9 is a state law, but they could always come in with their own ordinances and rules and things related to SB9 as well. The new California law doesn't officially go into effect until January 1st, 2022. In the meantime, though, you may have more questions about SB9 and how you could potentially cash in with the new law. So feel free to contact me by phone or email, and we'll get started on planning your real estate future. So you can find my contact info in the description below. My phone number is 415-595-2647, and my email address is joe@homesbyrise.com. I hope you found this video helpful. Again, my name is Joe Polyak, local San Francisco real estate agent here in the San Francisco Bay Area with Rise Homes. If you have any real estate related questions or you just want to chat about real estate, feel free to reach out. Thanks.